Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Mia. If you're not new here, welcome back. And today's video is a girl talk. It's not focusing. It'll focus before we actually start the video, but I have quite a few girl topics on my phone, so we're gonna go ahead and get straight into the video. Alright you guys, so first topic is gaining confidence. Now I feel like I can get more in depth into this once we get to the self-love topic, but gaining confidence is really confidence in general is really just a mindset thing. But gaining confidence and having confidence goes hand in hand with having self-love. If you don't love yourself, you don't have confidence. You need to have self-love to have confidence, as well you need to have confidence to have self-love. It really does take self-love though. You need to not just self-love, but you need to know your self-worth and have that positive self-image towards yourself. It could get hard because nowadays social media can really fool you, but you gotta remember not everything on social media is real. Half of the time those girls that you are seeing, they rather have makeup on, photos are rather photoshopped. Like nowadays social media is not real. Everything you see on social media is not real, and I feel like people fail to realize that. So I mean, when it comes to comparing yourself, you gotta remember that you were made the way you were. Everybody is unique in their own ways, and I know people probably say that sounds like corny and like childish, but I mean, it's true. Like everybody's different in their own ways for a reason. Like everybody can't look the same. Like even identical twins have some type of flaws in them that literally don't make them identical. Sometimes you can't even see them. But at the end of the day, everybody's different in their ways. Everybody in this world cannot be the same. So you really just gotta learn how to like not compare yourself and just kind of realize like you're the way you are for a reason. Like you were made this way for a reason, you know. As well as some people like, oh, like that doesn't work. Like no, but saying affirmations to yourself and looking at yourself in the mirror and saying like, wow, I'm really pretty, like, oh, I'm gorgeous, like, you know, saying positive self-image affirmations, like that really does help. It boosts your self-confidence in so many ways that you don't even realize. So it really just comes with self-love and a positive self-image. Okay, next topic is self-love. We're just gonna go straight into self-love. This is a topic that I do want to talk about on my podcast. But self-love, I feel like many people fail to realize you cannot love anybody else until you love yourself. You cannot fully love anybody else if you don't fully love yourself. You have to love yourself before you love anybody else, and a lot of people fail to realize that, and that's why people fail to realize that. And I'm just saying, like, it takes you to love yourself first before you can love anybody else. How are you gonna how are you going to love somebody else if you haven't learned how to love yourself? And we're not talking about family love. We're talking about like actually like loving somebody else, like actually fully loving somebody else. You cannot fully love somebody else if you don't love yourself. You have to realize, which a lot of people do fail to realize, that when it comes to self-love, you have to have that self-confidence in yourself, and you have to like actually love who you are and love the things that you do. You have to realize that you have flaws. Everybody has flaws in this world. Like it really just goes hand in hand with self-confidence. You have to love yourself first, you know. Self-love goes hand in hand with self-care, self-image, self-confidence. You have to have all that to have self-love. Heavy on the self-care, you need to take care of yourself. Definitely want to go more in depth into that in my in my podcast, because I feel like it's just such a heavy topic and I have so much to talk about, but I want to keep this video not too long, not too short. So we'll go more in depth into that into my podcast. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe. It's Talks with Me. I will also put the link in my description down below, so go check that out. Red flags in friendships. I feel like nowadays it's kind of hard to spot them because we kind of ignore red flags as humans. Everybody ignores red flags time to time, but I would say like main red flags in friendships are when you feel some type of jealousy towards you, um, when they're not happy for you, when they're there only when they want something, you really have to pay attention to that. If you see that it's happening constantly, a lot of people choose to talk it out because sometimes the person just doesn't realize that they're doing the things that they're doing, but a lot of times the people know that they're acting this way. You don't want to let people, friends, gaslight you into thinking that they didn't realize, and oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't realize I was acting this way, and they continue to do it. Like genuinely, if you see that it's a constant repetitiveness in this, like you eventually have to let them go. You eventually have to let go. And this goes hand in hand with anything and anybody. You eventually have to let go. There's going to be bigger things for you. There's going to be other friendships. Like, it might feel like the end of the world. You might feel like you're losing such a big friendship, but at the end of the day, there's going to be more people and more positive people that are going to come into your life. You feel me? So I feel like just when you see constant jealousy and type of envy towards yourself, when they're not happy for you, a big one really is when they come to you only when you need something and you're always there for them. It's just a lot of things that you can spot in a friendship and fake friendships. Thoughts on relationships. Okay. Thoughts on relationships. I would definitely say don't rush into getting in one. You have a lot of time ahead of you to get into one. I would definitely say enjoy your young teenage years. Don't rush into getting into a relationship because you're not missing out on anything. I know that a lot of people get fooled from social media. A lot of people see their friends, like even seeing your friends in relationships. But I feel like you're really not missing out on anything. You're gonna get your time. You're gonna get your person, and it's rather gonna work and it's gonna last or it's not. Which we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But I just feel like it's not something you should try to rush into. I feel like you should definitely enjoy your middle school years. Try to enjoy your high school years. Enjoy your time. It's nothing to rush towards. Like, you're gonna get your person. You're gonna find the right person at the right time. Um, I really I don't know. I'm trying to answer that question as best as possible because when it comes to thoughts, like that's really all I can say. Like, enjoy your years. Like, don't rush into getting into one. A lot of the time like teenagers see it like, oh, like my friend has one, so let me get one, or oh, like I just want to fit in. Being in a relationship doesn't make you fit in with anything, anybody, any group. Like it really doesn't. Like, so it's not something to rush into. It's not something that's gonna make you cool. It's not something that's gonna make you popular. So really enjoy your years, spend that time with your friends, and focus on your studies. I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of situations where you get in a relationship and it distracts you from your goals and from what you want to do and from school and from your grades, and it gets you really off track. So that's why I'm saying don't rush into it. Focus on school, focus on your friends. Don't focus on your friends, but spend time with your friends. It's really nothing to rush for, especially if you know that that's going to distract you from your goals, your ambition, what you're passionate about in school. If you know getting into a relationship is going to distract you from school, I feel like you really should not get into one. School should be our number one priority. Relationship shouldn't be. So yeah, breakups. Okay, so I feel like when it's like teenage love, sometimes it hurts because you feel like that was your right person, that was the person that you were going to be with forever, and that was the person that you truly loved. But I mean, um, there's a verse that says, if it didn't, or I don't remember exactly word for word, but basically, if it didn't work out, it wasn't love, So I feel like as much as it can hurt, you gotta remember that you're gonna find your right person when it's time. Um, God brings people into your life for a reason. They're rather going to stay in your life, or they're rather going to be a life lesson. So you really just got to remember that everything happens for a reason, and eventually it is going to get better. I feel like there's going to be times where you feel like it's not gonna get better, like your whole world just fell apart. But trust me, it really is gonna get better. It gets better over time. But take time to heal. Don't go straight into another relationship. You really don't want to do that. That's when you kind of start realizing that you really need to love yourself, and you just need to take care of yourself, and you need to take that time to heal. You do not want to move on fast. Like, that is not the move. Take time for yourself, heal, love yourself, do some self-care, take yourself out on a solo date, do whatever you can to heal, and actually heal mentally but physically as well, you know. Definitely learn from your past, but yeah, take time for yourself. That's really the best I can say, and it does get better. You just, you gotta just let go. Eventually, that's really all you have to do. You have to let go and heal. Let yourself heal. Spend time with yourself. Spend time with your friends, but at the same time, spend time around people that you know are good vibes for you, not bad vibes that are gonna tell you, try to convince you to go get back with him, stuff like that. I feel like a lot of the time people are going to tell you don't cry, but I feel like you should. Like, if we're all human, we all have emotions, and you're sad, like, hello. So I would definitely say cry, let all your emotions out, because that's a part of healing, letting all your emotions out. A lot of people get confused when on their healing journey, because they feel sad some days, then they feel like they're getting better and they're happy, and then they feel mad, and they just feel a whole mix of emotions, and then they feel sad again. But that's what healing is. Healing, you're going to feel happy some days, you're going to feel sad some days. It's a mix of emotions. It's a roller coaster of emotions. But eventually, you're going to realize that you are healed and that you are happy. I feel like journaling as well. Journaling your emotions helps a lot. Rather it's in a notebook, in your notes. Journaling your emotions help a lot. Like, a lot. Let your emotions out. Journal, write, draw, scribble, do whatever you do. Scream if you have to. Let all your emotions out. That's really the biggest thing. Let your emotions out. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise, because that's the whole part of healing. Best age to get a boyfriend. So I feel like it's different for everybody. You get one when you think you are ready for one, but as well as when your parents, like, if you're young, like, make sure your parents are okay with it. But don't get one. I feel like I don't recommend getting one in middle school. Like, yes, like, that's just like a little middle school relationship, but at the same time, things can get serious. You gotta realize who has good intentions and who doesn't have good intentions. You have to kind of, like, you want to know what you're getting into when it comes to relationships as a young teenager. But I definitely feel like you should just not waste your middle school year on relationships. Focus on school, because that's a big transition. Middle school is one of, like, the biggest, like, schools years to focus on, because that's when you're transitioning into high school. Regardless if you're in 6th, 7th, or 8th grade, heavy on the 8th grade though. Heavy on the 8th grade. Like I said, especially when you're in middle school, that's like one of the, like, biggest 3 years that you really, really want to focus. Like, elementary, okay, but like, that's like the basic. But when it comes to middle school, like, you definitely don't want to focus on that. Like I said, especially if you know that you're gonna get distracted and not focus on your grades. No. When it comes to high school, of course you have to focus on your school, you have to focus on your grades and all that. But I feel like maybe once you're, like, transitioning into high school, that's when I feel like that's kind of the right time. But that's just my opinion. It's different for everybody. And I'm not saying as soon as you're getting to your freshman year, you're in a relationship. That's not what I'm saying. But I feel like once you're in high school, that's kind of where you're getting around that time where it might be right for you. So yeah. True intentions. Now, I don't really know what they meant by true intentions, but I feel like when it comes to knowing who has true intentions, you really just gotta visualize um who they are and like how they move. I'm not gonna say what you hear about people, but if you're constantly hearing that they like, I personally, I might hear something about you, and I'm still gonna give you a chance. Like, I'm not the type of hear something about you and like, oh, like, no, I heard this about you. Like, I'm not gonna be friends with you. I'm not gonna even try to talk to you. Like, that's not the type of person I am. I might hear a lot of bad things about you, but if I don't know you personally and I don't know what you did personally, I wasn't there. I wasn't the person that quote unquote it happened to. I'm going to give you a chance. Um, Matter of fact, I might give you a second chance. Like, I'm that type of person to give you multiple chances. So I feel like don't automatically fall for what you hear. Like, give that person a chance. But you know, you kind of start realizing once you actually start getting to know somebody, even if you know somebody already and you see that their ways are kind of changing, I feel like that's when you kind of start to realize if they have true intentions towards you or not. And that goes with anything, relationships, friendships, family. You really just start noticing in the way that they start acting towards you. That's the best way I could really explain it. Cause yeah, how do you know if someone doesn't have hatred towards you? That's kind of a good question, but a hard one. I feel like you don't automatically know that. Like, you don't automatically know somebody had um does doesn't have hatred towards you. I mean, because people can put on a fake persona anytime, any day. Like, and you can get fooled easily. A lot of people just manipulate you into thinking that they have good intentions for you. The whole time they don't. But I feel like if you genuinely feel a true connection with a person and you genuinely feel like that pure intention, good intention towards you, and you having that good intention towards them, I feel like that's really when you realize that, oh, like, there's no hatred. When you feel a specific bond, like a good bond, like a true pure bond, I feel like you kind of start noticing if a person doesn't have hatred towards you. Like I said, this goes hand in hand. If you see that a person is moving kind of different towards you, you don't automatically want to blame them and say like, oh, you're like moving weird, like you're not acting the same with me, because a lot of people, they distance themselves when they have something going on. So you always want to check up on the person and make sure that they're doing okay and they don't have something major going on in their life before blaming a person for moving different with you. But at the same time, if you see that this is a constant thing, I feel like maybe it's not hatred towards you, but people grow apart, people fall out. Like, it's just a part of life. Like, people are going to leave, people are going to stop being friends with you. But I feel like if you truly feel a good bond with a person, regardless if it's friendships, family, relationships, whatever it is, I feel like if you really truly feel a good bond with that person and a good connection, you can kind of, tell like, oh, they don't have no hatred towards me. As well as if you don't feel a good connection with somebody and just feel like that kind of like envious, like hate towards you, um, you kind of just start like saying that a person has hatred towards you. How to get into makeup? I would say start off with drugstore products. Try to find your shade. Explore with like products. Don't get straight into buying expensive products. It's not really worth that. I recommend Elf, NYX, and Fit Me. Those are my top three that I would definitely recommend. As for like foundations and base and stuff, I definitely recommend Fit Me. Fit Me is pretty good with bases and they have multiple shades. So I definitely recommend for you to go check that out. So start with drugstore makeup. You can get that at Walmart, Target, CVS, Walgreens. So I recommend starting off with pretty good drugstore things. Try to find your shade, go explore around. Um you kind of want to know what you're getting yourself into, as well as what type of makeup you're going for. If you want a full face, you're gonna have to try get all the full face products, but it really all just goes with experimenting and just finding the right things for you. What are your academic goals for next school year? Definitely stay on top of my grades. Don't focus on the things that I don't need to be focused on. It's really all focusing on school, focusing on my classes. Stop procrastinating. That's a big one. Don't procrastinate on those assignments. Really just get good grades this year. Especially heavy on the watch my surroundings, watch who I bring into my circle as friends. Just really focus on school, like heavily. Um, study, study for those tests, girl. Don't think you know it all. Study for those tests, and yeah. This isn't one on there, but I do want to get some school advice, even though I'm already going to get into that when it comes a little bit around back to school season. I'm going to make another video on that. Yo, I'm so excited for back to school season. I don't really think y'all understand how excited I am for back to school season. Like, that's just one of the biggest things. I have so many videos planned, especially because I don't have to wear uniform this year. Girl, the back to school shopping videos are gonna go crazy. We're gonna have back to school supply shopping video. We're gonna have a back to school clothes shopping video. Y'all are gonna have a back to school supplies haul. Y'all are gonna have a back to school shopping clothes haul. Y'all are gonna have a whole lot. Then you're gonna have the school advice. Oh my god, y'all. Oh, I'm so excited. Don't even get me started. Alright, next. Enough chit chat. I mean, this is a girl talk. So, but yeah. Really just stay on top of my grades this year. How to set boundaries. How to set boundaries. This is also another episode on my podcast. That's why I really want to talk heavily on it, because y'all just stay tuned into my podcast for that. If y'all didn't hear me earlier, I'm gonna leave the link in my description. Talks with me. Just saying, y'all. Just saying. Go check it out. Go check it out. But I would really say, don't overshare. You really don't want to overshare with anybody. You don't really want to make sure, you want to make sure that you don't tell people anything and everything. Regardless if they're your really close friends. I feel like the only person you can really overshare with is your mother, or your father, or a sibling or something. I really wouldn't say anybody outside of your circle, your family circle. I would just say your parents or your siblings. Don't overshare with no type of friends, because that's not really good. A lot of the time, people don't be wishing the best on you. That's why I don't really try to tell my specific goals that I have for myself, my deep personal goals that I have for myself. I try not to share that, not even on YouTube, because yes, I have people that support me. They're gonna be like, okay, go girl, you got this, da da da. But at the same time, you don't know who is wishing down on you. You don't know who is wishing on your downfall. You don't know who does not have good intentions for you. So do not overshare. That's really how you start off with setting boundaries. Do not overshare. Just cycle tips. I don't really have a lot. I would say get a heating pad for your cramps. If you know how to take pills, take Tylenol for cramps as well. And I would definitely say drink some type of pain medicine or something. But definitely get a heating pad for your cramps. That's going to help a lot. But yeah, I don't really have. I don't know. I don't really have no more for that. And then this is just extra stuff. How to balance school and YouTube. So you want to focus on school first, because YouTube should not be your first priority. School should. So I'm gonna give it to y'all like this. If you have homework, don't go straight home and start filming. Girl, do that homework first. If you have to study for a test, study for that test. I would definitely say focus on school first. Don't don't think about YouTube. You can do YouTube after. I feel like if you're doing after school routine, you can film yourself doing your homework, or film a little clip and then stop, because you really gotta focus on whatever has to do with school. You gotta focus on that first, and then focus on YouTube. YouTube is your side hustle. YouTube is your side career. YouTube is your part-time job. Think about it like that. Focus on your main priority first. And then the last one is, how do I start a YouTube channel? I actually have 2 videos on this, and I want to make a part 3 with a more in-depth stuff. But I don't know, because I feel like y'all are probably tired of seeing that on my channel. But yeah, I did ask on my TikTok story as well. If y'all do not follow me on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok. The life with me, go follow me, y'all. But nah, I did ask some people on my story if they need any YouTube tips, any YouTube questions, anything with YouTube editing, like if y'all need any type of help with that, let me know, because I can definitely make more videos on that. As well as somebody asked me, or multiple people asked me for an editing tutorial, so I will basically make a video on how I edit my videos or whatever. So yeah, that's that. But I have like 2 videos on how to start a YouTube channel. I would definitely say, if you don't know how to edit, try to learn how to edit. Make some fake videos, edit them, see what you like, what you don't like, try to practice. Practice with 1 or 2 videos first. Find your niche. If you don't know what a niche is, it's basically like what your content is gonna base around. My content based around lifestyle, fashion, and beauty, and more. So yeah, try to find your niche. I'm not gonna give y'all no more, because if y'all want more information, I gotta go check those 2 other videos out. Cause hello, I'm just saying, y'all. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed. I didn't have no more questions, so if y'all want a part 3, this is actually part 2, cause the girl talk. Oh my god, y'all! My first ever like official YouTube video on my channel was a girl talk. So this is part 2. Let me know if y'all want a part 3 with any more questions. I hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notification bell on. This the way you get notified every time I post a video. But yeah, I love y'all. Bye.
I'm sure we're taller in another dimension. You say we're smaller in another dimension.